Hi everybody and welcome to this week's science video. I'm Becca from the Northeast Autism Society and today we're joined by Tony and Danny from the Life Science Centre Newcastle. So what are we going to be doing this week then?
Well, at the weekend, I was in the countryside and it was a really dark night, and I saw a couple of shooting stars. And this
Oh.
October will be a great time to look out for them. So I thought the young people and their families might like to hear a bit more about them and about how you could spot them as well.
Oh, definitely.
So, shooting stars aren't really stars, they're little bits of rock that are floating in space. And as the Earth comes near to them, they burn up in our atmosphere, and we see them like a really bright shooting light across the sky. They move really quickly. And the scientific name for them is meteors. I was wondering if either of you have ever seen a meteor.
No, I haven't actually, but that is something I'd love to see.
I think I have. My parents live in the countryside or near the countryside, and I was at their house one night and I saw some very fast light in the sky, and it was too fast to be an aeroplane or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. So I think maybe, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that sounds like it could be one, just something that moves really fast and then disappears really quickly as well. So in a split second, it's gone. So that sounds
Yeah.
like it could have been a meteor, a shooting star.
So for people like me who've never seen one, when is the best time to see one?
Well, you can see them throughout the year on dark nights, but they're quite unpredictable. You can't say for certain when they're going to turn up. So you have to be very patient, and if you're lucky, one might surprise you. So for the best chance of seeing one, you want to look during a meteor shower. And meteor showers happen as the Earth orbits around the sun. At certain times of year, it'll pass through a patch of dust and rock that's been left behind by a comet. And because there's more bits of rock there, there's more of them that enter the Earth's atmosphere. So you see more of the shooting stars, more meteors. So we call it a meteor shower. It's not really like rain, they're not all falling down on top of you, but you will see more of them shooting across the sky at that time.
So does that mean they happen quite often? Is there one soon, maybe?
Yes, they happen a few times a year, and there is one happening right now. So between the 2nd of October and the 7th of November, there's a meteor shower called the Orionid meteor shower. And you might see meteors at any time during those dates, but there's a peak, a night where you're more likely to see more meteors. And that's on the 20th and 21st of October. And this year it should be quite good because the moon is in quite a thin crescent phase. So it won't be lighting up the sky too much. So it should be kind of easier to see them.
So does things like the weather affect our chances of seeing a meteor shower?
Yeah, so the weather really does affect your chances. So to see the stars or anything in our night sky, we need nice clear skies. So we need to make sure there's no clouds around. So you have to look out for the weather forecast and try and find a night where there's no clouds. And even that can change from one night to the next. So it's worth keeping an eye on it and keep looking out the window to see if it's nice clear skies with no clouds.
Yeah, definitely. So where can I go to see them then? Is there a better place, maybe in the countryside, as Danny mentioned, or?
Yeah, so that's a really good question because it can be difficult to see them from the city centre. It doesn't mean you can't see them at all, but you can only see the very, very bright ones because all the rest of them get kind of washed out by the artificial light, the man-made lights, things like street lights and car lights and lights in buildings. We call that light pollution. So to stand the best chance of seeing them, you want to get away from those lights. So you might have a good chance of seeing them in your local park. But if you live somewhere rural, you might just need to go out in your back garden to see them. But if you did want to go further away from the city to get a better chance of seeing them, you want to ask a grown up. And I'd really recommend looking at the Go Stargazing website because they've got a map that shows you lots of places that are safe to stargaze all
Wow,
over the UK.
that sounds really good. So to do this, do we need any special equipment?
Well, that's the best thing. To see meteors, you don't need anything special. You don't need a telescope. All you need is your eyes. So it is likely to be quite cold, though. So I'd recommend putting on lots and lots of nice warm layers, and maybe making a hot drink in a flask that you can take with you as well.
Lovely. That makes it even more exciting.
Some people also like to take a garden chair or a camping chair so they can lay back and relax and look up at the sky. And if you don't like the dark, you might want to take a torch with you. And the best thing you can do is, if you can find a little piece of red plastic, like perhaps a sweet wrapper or something like that, you can cover that over your torch. And that means the bright light of the torch doesn't stop you seeing the stars, because red light is very friendly for stargazing. And then my other big tip really is just to look up as much as you can and look all around you, because they could be in any direction and they will be very quick. So if someone spots one and shouts "Meteor," by the time you turn around to look, it might be gone. So just be patient and keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully you might see one.
Yeah, I think it's really important with this activity that for a lot of patience, because as you say, they're that quick. You just got to be patient and wait.
Yeah, so you do need to be a bit lucky.
So if you are out there and you're wrapped up and you've maybe taken a chair with you and you're watching for a little while, how many could you expect to see in, say, an hour if you sat there for that long?
We think that on the peak, on the 20th and 21st of October, you'll probably see a maximum of maybe 10 per hour. So you will need to be patient when you look.
And you said that this meteor shower that's coming up is called the Orionids. And I know there's a constellation called Orion. So has it got something to do with that?
Yeah, it does. So Orion's quite a famous constellation or star pattern in the skies. And when you look up at this meteor shower, if you traced back where all the meteors appear to come from to one point, it would be a point in the sky that's near the Orion constellation. Now, in reality, it's not actually coming from those stars. They're much, much further away, but it's just how it looks from where we are here on Earth. So they've been named after the constellation of Orion. In October, you'll only see Orion in the night sky after midnight. So it's very, very late.
Yes.
But if you wait and towards the end of November, you'll start to see Orion much earlier in the evening sky. So that'll be a good time to go out and look if you want to see the constellation of Orion himself. And if you're interested in seeing more constellation patterns while you wait for the meteors, you could use something called a planosphere that I've got here, which is like a map of the sky. So all of these dots are the different stars, and it shows you how the patterns are joined up with these lines. You can also get little books like this that tell you about different stars and different patterns that you might see. You can also get apps for your smartphone as well that help you find your way around the night sky.
Yeah.
There's one that I've used before. It's called a Sky View, and you can kind of hold it up and point it at the sky, and it tells you what it is you're looking at, or if it's a constellation, or if you're looking at a planet or things like that. And a lot of them are free, and if they're not free, they may be £1 or £2. So they're quite easy to get one.
Yeah.
And then you've got the whole sky in your pocket.
I think using apps or, looking at a book whilst waiting for it to fill in the time is a great idea to keep us too busy, and helps us, stay focused on looking for those meteor showers.
Yeah, so I really hope that we have some clear skies. So I hope we have some nights with no clouds, and I hope that you have a chance to go out, wrap up warm, and hopefully if you get lucky, you might spot a few of these meteors.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, as Tony said, fingers crossed for everybody. I think I'm going to go out myself and see if I can see anything, because I've never got the chance yet to. So if you do see any though, please take some pictures, let us know, and we'd love to see. But thank you very much, Tony and Danny, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.